I'm going to close the text editor, and now I know that that's a one-story brick building. If you needed to add your dimensions, you could have just added it with that text box, 30 foot by 60 foot, one-story brick. Okay? And if you don't like it at first, you can go ahead and move it around, make it look the way you want it to look. You can always move your text around. Okay, next. Want to label the building corners perpendicular to the property line. Again, this is something that lenders generally want to see. They want to make sure and see how far from the property line these buildings are. So I'm going to go back to my annotative dimension style because it's much like doing the fence corners. And align dimension from this property corner, and I'm going to go perpendicular to the property line. And I'm going to right click to repeat the command, choose the endpoint of the building corner, perpendicular to that property line. And again, the south corner, perpendicular to that property line. And this one, perpendicular to that property line. Now, that made it a little different. We want to move our text for this around, make it look right. You can see we're starting to get a little full here on our dimensioning, but that's okay. That's what we do. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is dimension the road, the width and the type of road. And so I'm going to place, I think I'm just going to use a leader. A lot of times I'll place the text within the paved lines of the road, but I don't think I'll have room because the roads are kind of narrow. So I'm just going to use a multi-leader. And I'm going to say, what was that, a 15-foot paved road? No, it's a gravel. 15-foot gravel drive. This is the drive. Close the text editor. And then down here, I believe I did a 24-foot paved county road. Okay, so that should be sufficient enough for the road. I'm going to label my point of beginning. Again, use the multi-leader, snap to the endpoint of that line, and say point of beginning. Okay, our controlling corners. We need to label our controlling corners, but we may not be able to see all of them in our drawing over here. Right now the only one I can see is this one. So I'm going to go ahead and label that one to start with. And if you forgot what it is, then you can turn your points back on. But I remember that that's the south quarter corner, and the box tells me that it's a stone. So I'm going to say here, FD for found, original stone at, and most people don't understand south quarter corner, or some lawyers don't understand south quarter corner. So I've been trained to tell that it's the southeast corner of the southwest quarter. Does that make sense? Southeast corner of the southwest quarter. And then I want to say what section it is. Section, I can't remember. I'm going to type something in here, and then I think it's 5 north, 26 east, but range 26 east. And I think that's right, but I want to turn my points back on to make sure. I'm going to go over here, turn my points back on, and see what it says here. 19,526. Okay, so that was right. I'm undoing all of that. So now it hasn't turned back off. Okay, so I'm making my text say found original stone at southeast corner of the southwest quarter, section 19, township 5 north, range 26 east. And now if we go over to our layout, you can see that that is one of our corners there, and is the controlling corner. Now we can't see the southwest corner, but I'm going to show you how to dimension to that. Well, we've already dimensioned it, but I'm going to show you how to label that corner and put in a zigzag to show a break in the line. It just means that it continues on further. It's not actually that short. So let's go over here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label it just like I labeled that one. Let me turn my points back on just to make sure what is at that corner. A 4-inch brass cap. Okay. So I'm going to turn it back off. Go back to annotate. Select my multileader. That's the corner I'm dimensioning. I'm going to say found 4-inch brass cap at southwest corner, section 19, township 5 north, range 26 east. Close my text editor. And you might want to give more information than that, but for now that's what I'm going to put. I don't know what else is on it, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay, now again, we can't see it, right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it down there. I'm going to say M, move, select the whole leader, right click to end my selection. My base point is the end point of that line, and my new point, I want to select nearest, because I want it to be on that line. I'm going to stay right there. Okay, let's go over here. Right now you can see that it's there. I'm going to actually, you can move it anywhere. It doesn't matter where you place it. I'm going to place it at the very far edge of my viewport. And try to move my text around so that it's easily, so you can read it. Okay. Alright, now I need to add a zigzag into this line. Okay, Carlson lets you just add it pretty easily. They have a command to add a zigzag, but until I knew that, I did it this way for a long time, and so we're going to do it this way. I'm not going to search for that command in here. First, we're going to create an ellipse, and we're going to start, it asks for the center of the ellipse, so I'm going to choose here, and the endpoint of axis, and I'm going to choose there. And now it says the distance to the other axis. So we can stretch it out as far as we want. So I'm going to make it about the height of my bearing and distance text. And now I'm going to choose a line. And I'm going to put the first point right there on that quadrant. The second point, geez, I'm going to turn off some of these. I'm going to turn off nearest and perpendicular as well. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the top quadrant, down to the bottom quadrant, and then back over to the right quadrant. Okay, right click to end. Now I can erase the ellipse, and I'm left with the zigzag. And I actually want to make this zigzag red. Double click it and change it to red so it matches my section line. still be the same as my section line. Okay. And that should be good enough for this class. Alright, I'll also need to move my symbol back over here so that it shows up in my drawing. I'm going to go over here, and what I'm actually going to do is just copy it. So CP to copy, and I'm going to select the object. I'm done selecting object, so right click. The base point is the end point of that line, and my new point is going to be the end point of that leader. And right click to end the command. So now let's go back over here. And so now you can see that there's that section corner, and we've labeled this section corner and given it a zigzag to show that that point is actually much further down. Okay? And that should be good for the plat. The rest of our controlling corners we're going to end up putting on the vicinity map because we don't have room to show all the ties to all the section corners we used in this drawing. And actually on the vicinity map we'll end up putting every section corner on there.